Hi, this is Pastor Deborah Curry here with Repairers of the Breach Broadcast Podcast. We praise God that you're taking the time to listen to me, and I pray that the words that I give you or the host words that come before you would enlighten, enhance, anoint everything God can allow for you to have. I pray that you receive. Good afternoon. This is Pastor Deborah Curry here live at WadeWorksStudios. Wake up your dream. Oh my God, the montage to let you know is something inside of you that may be dead and you have forgotten that God has put purpose inside of you. Today we're going to have a tremendous broadcast. Many of you all have seen the advertisement on Repair of the Breach, and then you also heard a lot about 4G. So today you're going to be introduced to not only 4G, but the beautiful wife of 4G. Oh, God has tremendous future for this artist. We just thank God again. Like I said, I'm Pastor Deborah Curry, but I'm going to let my son, G. Wade, so, my son, I'm always talking back and forth off the camera too, but he's going to be the one do the further introduction of them because young people know young people. Not that I'm so alive and not old about getting ready to dispense off of earth. No, but I'm going to let a young man that's familiar with hip-hop gospel and inspirational gospel and to tell the story like none other. That his background, and we're going to, like I said, enjoy God today, but we're going to enjoy the aspirations of what God's getting ready to take these two further than they've ever been before. Again, I want you to enjoy yourself because we have some surprises here before I get off the air that maybe even his wife may even have heard about. Have you heard anything about what's going on with your husband, 4G?
I have a little bit, yes.
What did you hear?
I have. When will you be publishing your book?
When I find the right publisher.
Well.
And you haven't found the right publisher
yet?
I
have not found the right publisher.
Well, I think I had a conversation with one, I think just yesterday.
Right.
And they're going to, we're going to sit down with some negotiation, but I think your book publisher's already been found.
Well,
they're going to promote you in everywhere around the country and around the world.
Okay.
So you know what, we're going to talk about that a little later at our office. Bring the missus since you're one. Okay, but you know what? No delay now. Again, I'll see you all next week, but we can ready to have the young people to have a ball in the Spirit of God to promote this young man and this beautiful lady. Until next week, this is Pastor Deborah Curry. God bless.
You already know what it is. It's your man, G. Wade, holding it down. Listen. Y'all usually see me on a Saturday early on my show, my pod, but I'm sitting in. Can you turn that speaker right there down? I'm sitting in on mine's. I'm sitting in on Repair of the Breach today because I got my mans in the building. We chopped it up. How long has it been, man?
2019.
Was it 2019? Wow.
So 2019, Hurricane Michael. So about 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
Okay. So well then it's good to catch up with you. You know what I'm saying?
No
I'll be
doubt.
saying your Facebook stuff. You know what I mean? I see you're moving around on social, but yeah, I mean it's been a minute since we've been in each other's presence. So let's catch up a little bit because when we sat down back in 2019, it only seemed like it was 2019. Yeah, because that was right before the pandemic.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. You was really, open and transparent in that interview, and I remember that. Talked about some issues that you was dealing with some family and that kind of things that was going on. We don't have to go all into all that kind of stuff. Let's, that's something you want to jump into. But before we do, I'd be remiss if I don't address the missus in the building. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
So
you.
the beautiful wife, Isis. Did I say that right?
Iris.
Yes. I thought I was prepared to say it right. But I'm just saying you a queen, so I'm saying Isis. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
A goddess. Is Isis a goddess?
No.
I think Isis is like a goddess.
Greek goddess.
Greek goddess or something. All right. So Iris, how are you?
I'm doing well today. Thank
Well,
you.
I generally would say welcome to G Wade Podcast, but welcome to Repair of the Breach.
Glad to be here.
Absolutely. Now, husband and wife, were y'all married when you came in 2019?
I was.
You was married in 20. Okay. I'm just trying to get it all my bearings together. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That was like number 3 of the 10-year commitment I gave, but that's an inside joke.
They got to renew that. That's funny.
Exactly.
So what y'all? So if that was 3, 19, 20, 1, 2. So you're on 6.
Going
July.
into 6
July.
July.
Going on
yes.
6. Okay, so 4 more for the re-up. I feel
Right.
you. And, you know, it's funny because I heard a comedian say, he's like, he think, of course he was being funny, but he was saying that, you know, marriage licenses should be just like, you know, all kind of other contracts where you have to renew them.
Exactly.
Like, are we working out? We good? You know what I mean? 5 years, 10 years in.
So,
Let's look at it. You know what I'm saying?
So the little joke I always told her, I said, you know, hey, I'm gonna commit to you for 10 years. I'm gonna trade you in for a younger woman. and so people like, you tell your wife? I said, yeah. I said, the thing about it is, she knows that I'm a jokester.
Right.
I believe in
Right.
keeping her laughing. And I said, if at any point I ever die before my time, she'll always think about all the crazy things I said to her. I mean, I ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna live forever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's just a little inside.
Yeah.
Between me and her.
No, that's what's up, man. I like insides because when you in the room filled with a bunch of people, that one little eyebrow twitch let him know it's time to go.
going on.
What you
Right.
feeling? What you about to say? You know what I mean? It's that little silent communication that you'll just have, and you'll be like, I know, he tripping. You know what I'm saying? Y'all probably doing it right now with me. I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Watch him. You know what I'm saying? But that's what's up. So you got new things going on, man. You got the obviously we just heard the song Bounce Back.
Right.
Is that off the Unqualified project?
It is.
It is off the Unqualified project. And a book. So now you got author under your belt.
Yes.
Yes?
I literally just finished the manuscript last month.
Okay.
It's currently in the editing phase right now.
Gotcha.
And I've been talking with countless publishers. I didn't know it was so expensive to publish a book.
And it ain't cheap. You know what I'm saying?
So that's why I said the right publisher. You know,
Right,
I'm
of course.
able to exercise wisdom when I
Yeah.
make this decision. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the song, and then we're going to move our way through because this is a trilogy in a sense. You got the song Bounce Back, you got the book Bounce Back, and soon to be film Bounce Back. So, you know, we need to hit all these avenues of media. So let's talk about the song. What does the song address? What does Bounce Back mean?
So the idea itself initially came from my pastor, my bishop back home in Panama City. Shout out to Pastor James Kelly if you're watching.
That's what's up.
So during the casual conversation, I want to say, about 15 years ago, my legal name is Jimmy. I just don't answer to that.
I don't turn around.
Not at all.
But he said to me, Jimmy, he said, if you wrote a book, he said, you'll be a millionaire. He said, I've never seen nobody in my life go to situation after situation and come out of them. He said, and I think you need to call it bounce back. He said, because I've never seen you not able to bounce back from anything.
Yeah.
And at that point, a light bulb went off in my head. I always had the goal to write the book, but at that time, it just wasn't the time. And twice as much has happened to me since we had that conversation.
Yeah.
And so,
Because at that time when you came here, you mentioned that, but now it's really coming back to me where the hurricane went through Panama City. Right, okay.
Right.
And there was some serious devastation down there. That's right.
and then, so March of last year, lost my sister.
Oh, sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, I lost my sister. 30 days after losing Kobe Bryant, I was a diehard Kobe Bryant fan, diehard Lakers fan, and my wife, she literally had to leave me alone for about a couple of days. I mean, like when I say I grieved over Kobe, and then
Black Mamba.
yeah, and then 30 days later, I lost my sister. And
Older or younger sister?
she was younger.
Younger sister?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and I was tasked with the burden of having to take care of her final arrangements and bury her and so forth, and God provided for that. And 2 months later, Holy Spirit said, your time is up here in Florida. I told my wife, I said, God said it's time for us to go. And, I got a little resistance. She was like, I want to go to school. I said, we can go to school. You can go to school in Georgia. I said, but God said time for us to go. We went back and forth for a few days. And finally I said to her, I said, I love you, but I'm going with or without you.
Mm.
I said, because the window of opportunity that's there might not be waiting on us
Yeah.
6 months down the line.
Right.
And so
when the glory cloud moves.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what was ironic, she used to always ask me, she said, why are we still here? Because of some of my present situations that I was in.
Right.
And my response then was, God ain't told me it's time to leave yet.
Mm.
I was in
Don't want to leave no unfinished business in a sense.
that, and I think God was really just teaching me in that season. I was dealing with some situations at my home church.
Okay.
Where I was just dealing with judgment, rejection. I mean, the list goes on and on. Not being supported. And I told her, I said, I believe what God is teaching me in this season is what not to do. Because throughout the course of my life, I've always known that I've been called to a different level of ministry and so forth.
Yeah.
And, even to the point of, ministry was my first calling.
Right.
I've already accepted that calling going back 10 plus years now. But I'll tell God himself that I don't want to be nobody's pastor.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm wise enough to understand that if that's what he wants me to do, then I gotta be obedient.
Gotta
to
answer
that.
the call,
But
yeah.
The same way you and I here sitting here having a conversation, I talk to God the same way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be anybody's pastor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really just that simple with me. But needless to say, I believe God was teaching me during those years that she was questioning why you're still here of how not to treat people. Because I am a people person.
Yeah.
And so we both, we came down here on blind faith. We both resigned from our jobs on June the 24th of 2020.
Right.
June 24th, 2020.
2020.
Yeah,
Okay, so we right in the smack dab in the.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We came down here. We didn't know where we were going to stay. Stayed at 2 hotels. There were some specific things I asked God for. Literally some specific things I asked God for. I didn't want to go into debt making this move. I wanted a job lined up. So as we were packing up, it's funny. There was a vision board that I had written some years ago.
Okay.
So
I'm big on vision boards. I like that.
well, all of mine have manifested themselves.
Amen.
And there are some.
Well, why, Lord? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. When?
But there are others that are still in the process of
Yeah.
being manifested.
Of course.
I'm gonna get to that there. So as we're packing, she found this vision board I had written where I wanted to work at Enterprise.
Okay.
Proud moving here.
Yeah.
Back in Florida, they would never hire me.
Really?
Never hire me. Literally, and to the point where I got so frustrated that I had literally forgotten about that I had petitioned God for prayer. So Enterprise hired me to transition down here. I was working at a prison. Same company in Florida, but they wouldn't let me transfer.
Down. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
The craziest thing, but the same company in Florida that wouldn't hire me hired me here. And so I started out washing cars.
Okay.
I got 3 degrees, but I came down here with a plan.
Yeah.
And, I've always been very confident in myself where I can get myself through the ranks there because I know my capabilities.
Yeah.
So they hired me washing cars. We get down here, we stayed at 2 hotels.
Okay.
The second week that we stayed here, we ended up staying there for the duration. The rate was $45 a night. That never changed. That never happens, first of all.
Right.
Second of all, so she had already accepted a job at a local medical firm here.
Okay.
But they had not opened the office yet. So literally when the job finally opened, the hotel we were staying at, she pulled out the parking lot. She go down 2 lights. She's at work in less than 5 minutes. We couldn't have planned that if we wanted to.
Right.
She said to, I said, we're going to buy a house. And she said to me, she said, baby, she said, I think you're doing things backwards. She said, I think we need to rent first. And I said, to you, I'm doing things backwards. I said, I told you, I'll never pay rent another day in my life. And I meant that. 2 days here being in this city, we found a house on a short sale.
Okay.
A 6-bedroom, 4-bath house. Looked like a castle on the outside, 3,100 square foot.
Wow.
The bank wanted $200,000. We walked in there, the house was a mess. When I say a mess, I mean
it was like foreclosed on or something.
On the verge of.
Okay.
Basically, we saved them from that.
Gotcha.
So-
oh yeah, short sale. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically we walked in, the house was a mess. I mean, they hadn't moved anything out. Carpet was dirty. It was filthy. And I looked at her, and I said, this the one. And she kind of gave me this little bewildered look, and I said, look, you pay for square footage. I said, we're not going to find this type of space anywhere else for this price.
Right.
And the bank was giving us a 2 or 3K loan,
Okay.
pretty much to renovate
Yeah,
the
yeah,
house.
yeah.
So
That's what's up.
we ended up purchasing that house for $236,000.
Wow.
We walked into a situation with equity, just like that.
Immediately, yeah.
And the house that I own back in Florida basically pays for the one here. And again, so I did that washing cars.
Yeah. That's what's up.
You know, 3 months later, they moved me inside. We closed on the house in 120 days. You might want to reference that to Exodus with the story of
I got
Noah.
you.
Yeah. there's another 120-day story there somewhere. I'm going to get to that momentarily. 3 months later, I get promoted. Less than a year, I get into the MT program.
Okay.
The last 4 consecutive months with this company, I have been in the top 10 of a 300 plus company in the West region.
Wow.
And the second quarter, I am the #1 performer MT in the West region in Atlanta, Georgia.
What's MT stand
Manager
for?
trainee.
Okay, manager trainee.
Manager
Okay,
trainee.
gotcha.
I'm currently up for a promotion right now. But the funny and ironic thing about it is, as well as I'm doing with this company, that's not why I plan to stay for the long run.
Right.
Because it takes money to make money.
Yeah, absolutely.
They pay me very good money, but my heart is in a place of where I feel like people say that the sky's the limit. I believe there are no limits.
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
the God that I serve, you can't put limitations
That's
on
right.
God. So my motto is there are no limits. You know what I'm saying? Because God is a God you can't put in a box.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, so you in the kitchen.
Yes.
You cooking. You just got finished. You know what? I apologize. I shouldn't even have placed you in the kitchen. You in the living room chilling.
That's good.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? And hubby come home and he, greet you and all that good stuff. And then he says to you, God says it's time to move. What do you do?
That was a hard one. I think I refused, like he said, the first few days.
Uh-huh.
I did. And then finally I said, okay, you're right. I can go to school in Georgia. I knew I wanted to leave Florida in the beginning.
Okay.
So finally I had
Are
to
you
just...
born and raised there?
No, I am born and raised in Alabama. Dothan,
Okay,
Alabama.
got you.
Right.
Dothan, okay.
Yes. So finally I decided, I said, okay, let's go. So we left and it was nothing but up from there.
But what was your reaction? Was it like, well, I ain't heard it? I mean, was there any resistance, or you was like, listen, okay, if that's what God told you?
No, it was a lot of resistance.
Okay.
Because like I said, I was ready to go when we first got married. I said, you shouldn't be here. You can do greater things everywhere else, anywhere else. Let's go.
Gotcha.
So he said, no. God said it's not time for me to go. So I respected that, and I sat still until he got the word.
Got the release.
Yes.
Yeah.
When he did, I was like,
The bag's already packed. You know what I'm saying?
So we were packed and ready to go very quickly. So
That's what's up.
it worked out good.
And you said came to Atlanta with the kind of job ready for you, just
Right.
waiting for it to open,
Just open,
all that
right.
good stuff. But you had mentioned something just a moment ago when you said something about leave the hotel 5 minutes away. So what the meaning as in if you left the hotel, the job was 5 minutes
It was
away.
5 minutes away.
So
Exactly down the
Less
street.
than 5.
Less
I
than
think I
5
can get
minutes
there in
away.
about 3 minutes.
Without 2 lights, she's at work.
Really?
Yes.
And so how has the distance changed now since you've moved?
I can probably still get there in 13 minutes, so it's still pretty good from our house.
Our daughter's school, she's in private school.
Oh, that's what's up.
It's literally right around the corner from the house.
Mm-hmm.
I think either direction. I think our
Either
commute is
direction.
about 20 minutes. Either direction.
Either way, that's what's up. So you write the song Bounce Back, and the song is, I guess, obviously overcoming adversities. In the song, are you addressing anything specifically?
there's one line in there on verse 2 where I said, let me see, I'm a child of the Most High, a son of a king. Children have privileges, access to anything. He is my king. He is my life source. He has everything that anyone could ever ask for. I might have fallen short, never wavered in my faith, because I've been faithful in my testament that God is great. Through my life, he gets all glory, living proof he is. He don't want to rescue me from the fiery pits. From all them snails, all them snakes, all them death traps. Be honest, no one ever thought that I could ever really bounce back. So that particular line right there, there was a lot of traps that were set for me, whereas I felt like God had given me an outlet.
Okay.
And I didn't take it. You know, for whatever reason, I mean, I was blinded. I didn't take it. I believe God gives us all outlets. I had opportunities to escape traps, but I didn't. But what's crazy is, even when I was my own worst enemy,
which we all are at times,
God still protected me.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's some things I look back now and I'll be like, wow, like, I mean, honestly, I should be dead. I should have done prison time. I have a 5-page rap sheet of just a bunch of nonsense. And I don't have the first felony.
That's what's up.
I don't have the first felony conviction. Not one. Think about that. Let that soak in.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of dumb stuff.
Like you stole a Snickers?
Actually, back in the day, I did. Yeah, that was actually my favorite candy.
Right, that's funny. You're like, how did you know? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but even when I was my own worst enemy, God still protected me. And so, and I don't say that, you know, to boast or brag, or definitely no arrogance along those lines there. I just recognize that hedge of protection has always been there for me. And people often say, you know, hey, man, you got the favor of God on you, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And what's crazy is, like, I know it. I boldly told one of my managers here recently, you know, I had one or two, they're like, you know, hey, if you don't do X, Y, Z, we're going to not sign off on your promotion, et cetera. And I boldly said, look, my success or lack thereof will not be dictated by no man.
Right.
I said, because what I need you to understand is enterprise ain't my source. I said, enterprise is a resource. God is my source. And I said, the same way I found this job here, I can find another one. I don't have to be here. And this was coming from individuals that I'm outperforming. You know, I mean, I'm not even going to go there right at this moment because I want to keep the vibe positive.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
but my point is I had to make them understand that you all don't control my success or lack thereof. Only the decisions I make and what God allows to. It's kind of like, you know, Jesus told then when he was, you know, basically being judged, the only authority you have over me,
by whose authority,
is what's been given to you. So I understand that they're like, you're not my source.
Right.
Let's be clear on
Absolutely.
that. And I'm not saying I wasn't being arrogant, and I you know, to them I might have been talking foolish, but nah. The same way God provided for me through this here, He'll continue to provide for me. You know, I could get fired tomorrow. They'll have my replacement right there waiting.
Right.
I can die tomorrow. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know,
yeah.
They'll have a replacement for me. I'm expendable. So I get that there. But God has whatever I need. He has anything that anyone could ever ask for.
That's right.
I'll talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now you dropped the song, Bounce Back, and your pastor talks to you. You know what, let me ask you this question before I even bring the book up. You had mentioned, I guess, some issues that were going on in your church, your church down there. Now, was there, you know, a lot of people, you know, have issues in church, and because people are people. You know what I mean? Was there ever any kind of like church hurt, you know what I mean, to, you know what I'm saying? Because some people get that church hurt where they don't want to deal with church, or they want to deal with church people, or they forget Jesus, whatever. Was that anything that caused that kind of backlash? Or
It had gotten so bad, I had gotten to the point where I could care less if I had physically stepped foot in another church building another day in my life. It had got to that point.
Yeah.
And honestly, I've actually been still trying to heal from that.
Okay.
But, there were some things I used to share with my wife prior to her coming there. Matter of fact, I'm going to even get even more personal and transparent with you. So while we were dating, I never let anyone in the church know that she was my significant other.
Gotcha.
And so at first, she felt some kind of way about that.
Of course, I get that.
And even her mother felt some kind of way about
He ain't
that.
gonna claim you.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly what she said.
But I knew enough to understand that this is something that I have to protect. Because
Right.
so many others have been run away behind this
Nonsense.
Because it almost seems like it also becomes like a feeding frenzy. Once you let people in your business, you know what I mean? It's like now they're trying to figure out how they can poke holes
Exactly.
in it. So I agree with you there. To protect it is goal number one. You know what I'm saying?
When we finally got married, so first of all, we didn't get a lot of support. There was one, so the assistant pastor, he was being fed so much nonsense that he refused to marry us.
Oh, wow.
He agreed initially, and some things were going on. He texted me, hey, I'm hearing X, Y, Z. And I said, so rather than you ask me,
right.
I said, you make a decision without even, because my bishop has always said, he said, there's always three sides to a story.
Of course.
There's my side, there's your side, and there's the truth. So he made a conscious decision. I said, wow.
To pick a side.
Right. I said, that happened.
Right.
That literally happened a lot. So I said, okay. When we got married, I want to say out of a whole congregation of about 150 at the time, only about 9 people showed up. I didn't trip.
Yeah.
I said, okay. The first 4 years, 3-4 years that we were married, I can honestly say that so at the time, my bishop, he had turned the church over to the son.
Okay.
So years before that happened, I was given this prophetic word, this stranger I had conversed with over the phone. I was working at a hotel. We just began talking, and she said, the Lord is telling me to tell you. She said, what God got for you, you're not going to get right there. She said, it's because there's just some people that are not for you. She said, think about it. She said, you see it. It's staring you right in the face. She said, but your problem is you're loyal to a group of people that are not loyal back to you.
That loyal to a fault kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
This woman didn't even know me. She was in an entirely different state. And she told me some other things, for the sake of time, I'm not really going to go into. But everything so I told my bishop this here, and I did everything my God-given ability to prove what this woman said was wrong. But she wasn't talking about the mother and the father.
Right.
She was talking about the son and the daughter. So when the church was turned over to them, exactly what that woman said happened.
Wow.
Ministry-wise, for 4 years, sat down. The only thing I was good enough to do was clean the church.
Wow.
And pay my tithes and, but didn't utilize me. Matter of fact, when as far as telling another minister, can't use him. And he's like, man, how long you going to hold on to this nonsense? Like, this man is married. He's moving on. Like, that's high school stuff. But that's the kind of things I went through. And so when she kept saying, like, why do you keep doing this here? Even to the point where we had got pulled into a side meeting, and there was a graduation ceremony that went on. And the information I provided, so I was given a questionnaire.
Yeah.
And the lack of support was evident. So let me say that in advance. So I was given this questionnaire. I was getting my bachelor's from Florida State. Okay. And so they're like, what do you want to do with your degree? My response was, I want to put on gospel concerts relative to Gulf Coast Jam, which is a huge event they're having down in Panama City, Florida. Okay. But it's catered towards country music artists.
Gotcha.
So doing my research and so forth, I'm like, okay, so let me get this right. So if a group of people can come together for one weekend and support country music, I said, surely we all say that we're Christians, we got all these churches. Surely, the church folks can come together and enjoy the gospel the same way. So that was my idea. That's the vision I had. And so that was my response. Like, I want to put on concerts relative to Gulf Coast Jam, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So she sent me an email response back. She stated, "We're not here to promote your music," and I'm just like, "But I'm not trying to promote."
Right.
I simply responded to a question that you asked me. But I said, okay, again, the lack of support was obvious. I didn't trip. And so during this award ceremony, the information I provided, they stated that I graduated from a junior college, which I had already graduated from 3-4 years prior, rather than Florida State.
Yeah.
So my initial response was like really? I'm like, how can you? But I didn't trip. And so after the award show, the husband of the wife that did it, he pulled me aside. He said, Gathers, I thought you said you graduated from Florida State. I said, I did. He said, that's not what my honey said. I said, I know, but it's cool. So he walked me over to his wife, and he asked her, and she said, I said this, and he said, no, baby, you didn't. And she looked at me and said, you didn't? I said, but it's cool. That afternoon when I got in, the same individual that I had sent the questionnaire to started emailing me this nonsense, like, you know how I heard it was an issue, but I said, no. I said, I'm good. All I'm happy about is it was a successful event. She kept going back and forth about it. I was like, you know what, I'm going to address it with the board on Wednesday. And I said, again, I'm fine.
Right.
You know, it's not that serious. So that following Sunday, we get pulled into a side room. And so the pastor, he begins, the son, he begins, you know, hey, I heard X, Y, Z. And so I looked at her, I said, did I not tell you that I didn't have an issue? In the emails that I had sent, well, before I had a chance to even say that there, his wife said to me, so what I observed on last week was you had some integrity issues. My wife never says anything. For the first time, she said, you know what? She said, he doesn't have any integrity issues. She said what it is he's tired.
Right.
She said, how many hits can this man take? She said, it was one thing for me to sit back. She said, he told me a lot of stuff. She said, you know, and she said, honestly, I thought he was embellishing a lot of stuff. She said, but for me to hear this come out your mouth,
right? She
said, that's a whole nother level.
It confirms everything.
Right. And so she said, he told you there was not an issue in all the emails that you all sent. And she's like, why is not the other family here? And so at that point there, the pastor realized that he hadn't been given all the information. So he said there were multiple emails, and we like, yes. And so now
I just got the one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right.
So now that the wife who's basically just insulted me to my face is trying to apologize. And
kind of backpedal now.
Right. But it's like, I'm not trying to be receptive to that at the point because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speak. I mean, you said how you really felt about me.
Right. And
I can deal with that because I already knew. But as it was at that point there, again, like I said, that prophetic message that I had been given, just the manifestation of it as a whole, I was like, wow, like, I'm just stuck. Like, I was in a bad place. I was just in a really bad place. Mentally, I was drained. Spiritually, I was spiritually almost borderline dead.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, so when you Iris, when you started hearing some of the stuff he was telling you about, did it make you question anything in regards to him? Did it make you, move slower in, I guess, building the relationship, or did it make you question anything?
Oh, in the beginning?
In the beginning, yeah.
It did. It made me question a lot. I would ask my mom, I would say, I don't think he, like you said, claiming me. And I said, I shouldn't have to go to the church and sit in the back, which I was fine with that, but it was just like, we meet later, later on. But when he finally explained, because I asked him, I said, I need to know what's going on. So when he explained it to me, I could kind of sit back in the back and just kind of watch everybody. And then I kind of got a better idea of what was going on. But once we got married, everything just came full circle when I met people and it started talking. So I was like, oh, okay. Good thing he did that because he was right. I would have not
It would have kind of, right. Yeah.
Right.
So you saw it coming in a sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Why do you think there was, and I don't want to stay there or stay here, but why do you think there was so much, I don't know what the word I want to call it, attacks or backlash or?
So,
Can you do me a favor? Move that mouse. All right, thank you.
clicks.
Ain't nothing worse than church clicks, boy.
Yeah, just clicks. But in no disrespect, but most of the time it was like the women in the church, and it was the wives of a lot of the husbands. Like me and the husbands, we were cool.
Mm-hmm.
But so in a nutshell, what I saw was the son's wife was the first lady.
Mm-hmm.
So they took sides because she's the first lady.
Right.
It's like she had more relevance than me.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't about what was right versus what's wrong,
Mm-hmm.
or even trying to even get to the sort of the truth. It's like if someone said something, that was the gospel.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it matter of fact. So about 2 months before the Holy Spirit spoke to me, we had a meeting at my bishop's house.
Okay.
And so the son had reached out to me, and he was like, at this time now, I'm on a bigger platform.
Mm-hmm.
For 4 years, just like I wouldn't sit back twiddling my thumb, God gave me a platform of my own.
Mm-hmm.
And it had gotten to the point to where I had more influence as an individual than he had over an entire congregation. That's literally how the tables turned. So they pulled me in there like, hey, hey, we want to know if, you're still with us or against us. And I was like, I said, so we had a meeting, and he was like, they wanted me to meet with the board again. Mm-hmm. And my first thought process was like, look, the board didn't sit me down. Mm-hmm. Bishop did. Yeah. But Bishop gave you the authority to reinsert me a year ago. And his mom had ended up dying slightly before that there. She died of cancer, and she texted me. She said, hey, I thought about writing you a letter. I thought about that there. I said, wow, this woman is on her deathbed. Mm-hmm. And she thinking about me. Yeah. So as well as I know, when people think about writing letters, to me, that's personal. Yeah, like
absolutely.
So all I can say is, all the years I've known her, she has never rubbed me the wrong way. Mm-hmm. And she wanted me to be restored before she died, because I knew with her telling me she was getting friction from her own child. That's her son. Yeah, yeah. That's her blood. That's her child. Mm-hmm. And she knew that it wasn't right. Right. And so I can honestly sit here and say that when she left this earth, she left here with no blood on her hands concerning me. Mm-hmm. She did her part. And so Bishop brought me back up again to the son. So he pulls me aside like, hey, I want you to meet with the board. And I told him, I said, look, if you want me to go in here and try to convince people that I'm this changed man, I said, that ain't gonna happen. I said, because I'm the same guy I was 4 years ago. I'm the same guy. Yeah. I'm the guy who's made mistakes. And I said, and again, the board didn't sit me down. Bishop did. I said, so he gave you that authority. The power's in your hand. Right. I said, well, if you want me to go over there and tell them how I feel, oh yeah, I'll be more than happy to do that there. So when we get there, the same question was posed. We just want to know, are you with us or are you against us? And I said, I think that's an unfair question. I said, because I never turned y'all back on you. I never turned my back on you all. Y'all turned y'all back on me. It was an unfair question to be asking. Yeah. And so at the time, again, like I said, now I'm working with mainstream artists, me and Canton, doing a lot of work and stuff. Yeah. And so now all of a sudden I have this value. And so, and I thought about that. I said, hold up. I said, God brought me out of a situation where I was in bondage. He's clearly set me free. He's given me a platform of my own. Like, what benefit is there for me to even consider going back? And I really think at that point there, I believe in my heart of hearts that the Holy Spirit was like, it's time for you to go. It's time, yeah. It's time for you to go. Yeah. Like I'm getting you out the city. It's time for you to go. I'm not allowing you. God loved me so much. I'm not allowing you to go back into bondage from all the Hades I had gone through. Like, no, that's not gonna happen. And so since I've been here, like I said, I've been beyond happy.
Okay. That's what's up.
Yeah, beyond happy.
Are you over at Free Life?
No.
Okay.
We visit occasionally, but respectfully, I don't even think where God is taking me, He wants me in Canton's shadow.
Gotcha.
So I believe it's, I believe if that happens, I'll always be in His shadow, and that ain't what God got for me.
I feel you. I feel you. So now the book, you got the manuscript and ready to publish and everything. So where does the book pick up? Is the book like Luke and then Acts? Wait a minute, am I saying that right? Yeah, Luke. What is it? Luke, John, Acts. So am I saying that right? Luke, John, Acts.
So
because Acts picks up from where Luke leaves off. So is that what the book is doing?
I actually began the book from age 5.
Okay, so you take it back.
Right, the very first paragraph I said, it's been said that everyone remembers things going back to age 5. I think that sounds about right. And I began my life story there, talk about my first day of kindergarten.
Okay. I cried on my first day.
Yeah.
But that's
Me
another
too.
story. In fact, I begged my aunt to take me home. I promised I'd go the next day, and that's what she did.
Me too. My mom tried to drop me off to school for the first day. No disrespect, babe. I mean, you done read the story. So, first day of kindergarten, I was crying like a little baby. And, my first crush, her name was Lady K.
To this day. You know what I'm saying?
But, we since then, we've always grown up. We were platonic friends, but that's pretty much what calmed me down my first day of school. Was when I laid eyes on her. That point there, I went from
I got to get right. This ain't
Right.
0.5 seconds. I was
right. Over there coloring.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's up. So it chronicles from age 5 up until I guess today. We'll go through the church situations and all that? Do we go through all of the hurricane of 2019? Okay.
From age 5 to today. I think I cut it off. Remember I told you, God is the last time you and I spoke.
Right.
God has always spoken to me in dreams. And one of the things He told me, He said I'd be using my musical gift in the same arenas as mainstream artists,
That's
gospel,
what's
and
up.
secular.
Yeah.
And the same we sit here talking, I'm debating with God in the dream, like, Lord, I don't even know them people. And so on February the 4th this past year, that dream manifested itself. I actually got to perform at an NBA G League game.
Oh, that's what's up.
Team owned by 2 Chainz.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
On my dad's birthday.
Dope.
And what's significant about that is the reason I don't associate myself as Jimmy, because all the bad things that happened to me throughout life is when I refer
attached
to me as Jimmy.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Jimmy. So, but for it to happen it was my birthday weekend as well. Mine was the first, my dad's the 4th. Before it to happen on my dad's birthday, in a funny kind of way, I still know what my bloodline is, and even though my father and I didn't have that relationship that I long for, I am still Jimmy.
Yeah, I feel you.
I'm still Jimmy.
I feel you.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I got you. So when you, Iris, heard the stories of obviously from the song to now the book, what were you kind of taken aback by anything? Did you make you? I don't want to get all gushy. Did it make you love him even the more? You know what I mean? What kind of effect did it have on you?
Most definitely. Even before the book and the movie and everything, he had told me some of his stories, and I sat down with a couple of his, best friends, and they had told me like, oh, he's had like a rough, past, and talking to his family, and it's true. He's been through a lot. He has, but I think that brought us closer together.
Yeah.
Just knowing, and then even with the past things that went on, like when we first got married, going through, church hurt and everything, it just really he really worked through it. So.
Yeah. And I guess for him, like even when he was here in 2019, he was even transparent then. I'd imagine just being so transparent in the book,
Right.
it gives you insight on what to pray for, what to pray about,
Exactly.
Because, the enemy will try to get in your mind and play with you. You know what I mean? Just try to
Right.
throw the mix in, well, this and that and the third. But you know how to resist the devil.
So it's funny you bring that up. First of all, one of the things I mentioned in the book is Iris is actually her middle name. I'm not gonna put her government name.
I feel you. I got warrants. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm messing with you.
Okay.
But in the book, I said introduced her into my story as
Okay.
Iris, and I said because she saw me. Iris is
absolutely.
She saw me.
Facts. That's what's up.
She saw me for who I was, despite the flaws or whatever. And like I said, we got our own story, but she saw me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Now that's good. I even like the analogy there. That's actually kind of hot. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, man. Got me all misty over here. You know what I'm saying?
But once we got married, 4G didn't even exist.
Yeah.
I was doing music, but of course I didn't do my first studio album or whatever until we got married. She often tell after we got married, he was like, well, I'm going to do an album now. And she like, I didn't sign up for all this stuff. So early on, there was a lot of things that she didn't like. She wasn't prepared for.
Yeah.
Right.
And some things we kind of had to
work through.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Yes. That's right.
Now I get it. I mean, because again, you're getting introduced to someone's world. And it's almost like a baby being born. Like the baby didn't ask to be born, you know what I mean?
Right.
But they're getting introduced to this world of, I got to deal with my mama drama or my daddy drama or my whatever, you know what I mean? And that's how relationships go. Sometimes you can step into a relationship and everything, oh no, this is cool, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes you walk in like, what the heck am I?
Right.
Right. I need to resist this and flee. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But that's what's up. I mean, I praise God that you guys have, weathered the storm. And like he said, you saw him for, like Marvin Sapp's, you saw the best in me. In fact, when you started, that song just popped in my head. So it's like, that's an amazing thing because some people, like I said, will see all that and like, yeah, I ain't signing up to be this. You know what I mean? So what we doing with the movie? What's popping?
So
we got to end this on a light note now. We can't.
So the movie again is going to be loosely based off the book. So again, my legal name is Jimmy. So I'm actually going to portray Jimmy.
Okay. Are you starring in it?
Yes.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yes. And my first rap name was actually Fresh J.
Okay.
So I'm going to portray myself as Fresh J.
I got you.
Rather than 4G. So the synopsis is just here. Jimmy is
so that way you can be a little raw.
Right.
Yeah, I feel you.
That's right.
I can say some things.
Well, that is an understatement. The young lady that's working on the script, she asked me some questions. I said, look, do not water it down. I said, as a matter of fact, initially, I don't even want the audience to even like me as a person.
Yeah, I feel you.
I said, but as we build on the script, go back into my past, and they'll understand.
Let them see.
They'll see, and then because so let me get to the synopsis.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I saw the trailer. I'm feeling the trailer, so I see where it's going.
So the synopsis is Jimmy is this rapper, this hip hop artist. He want it all. He want money, fortune, and fame. He'll do anything to get it. People warn him not to sign this particular label. That's opportunity that's extended to him by this record mogul named Lou.
Gotcha.
Lou offered this opportunity because people that sign with this label, things happen to them. They end up dying, get high on drugs, just crazy things. But Jimmy want the money, fortune, and fame so bad because he done seen the other side of the fence. He'll do anything to get it. He totally disregard the warnings.
Yeah.
Even from his pastor.
Right.
So initially he resists, but finally he does. He end up signing with the label.
Okay.
And at first, things are good. But then, you know, things start happening. Just as stated, kind of like the whole death row thing.
That I was gonna say it, but I was like, should I say?
Yeah.
But you said it, so that's what's up.
Right. So
Got the executive producer all in the video. You know what I'm saying?
things start happening. Things start spiraling out of control.
Okay.
And it gets so point that he realized, hey, it must be some truth to what they
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
So eventually, he goes back to Lou and he says, Lou, hey, I don't want this anymore. I want to get out this contract. Lou tells Jimmy that in order for that to happen, it's going to require blood. Lou wants Jimmy to go out there and take a life.
Gotcha. I feel you.
And so he basically, you know, tells Jimmy, you know, it's going to got to go out there and take a life. And so rather than do that there, Jimmy plots otherwise. He plots, you know, I'm going to kill Lou.
It's going to be somebody. Yeah.
So Lou give him a gun to go out there and take a life. And, you know, when Jimmy get that opportunity, he take it, he shoot Lou, but Lou don't die. Matter of fact, he get back up and he laugh at him. My eyes start dingling.
That's a little scary.
Yeah, it's actually gonna be a horror type film too.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get that in a moment as well.
Right.
So he realized in this moment here that he's dealing with an entirely different being. He's practically made a deal with the devil.
I feel you.
Yeah. So
bring your lifestyle to me. I'll make it better.
Yeah. Exactly. And so, in the scurry to try to get away, he's driving erratic, and he ends up, you know, getting into a wreck. And
I saw that portrayed in that trailer.
So he survives the car wreck. You know, now he's seeing, you know, more demons than he was previously seeing and so forth. Well, the twist here is Jimmy's physical body is actually still in a hospital bed.
Okay.
He's actually in the purgatory between life and death, heaven and hell. And so, you know, when you're in a coma, you can still rationalize right from wrong, good from evil. Jimmy realizes in this moment, in a coma, the spiritual world, that he's made a lot of bad decisions. And he want to clean up his act.
Yeah.
Everything he thought was important to him. You know, he thought the money, the fortune, the fame was important to him. But now these demons are trying to collect on his eternal soul because he didn't keep that deal he made.
That's right.
He didn't keep that deal he made. And he's trying, you know, he's at a point where he wants redemption. And so, in a nutshell, if they collect, you know, obviously if they kill him in the purgatory, he die.
Yeah.
But if he's able to defeat the demons and so forth, he go back to his physical body.
Gotcha.
He gets that chance at redemption. That's why the last thing in the trailer said, question is, have I run out of time? Everything he thought was important, the money, the women, the cars, the big house, he can't take none of that with him.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact,
the Egyptians tried.
Right. When he goes back to Lou, he's made up his mind like, I'd rather live the way I lived before rather than to be going through the things I'm going through right now.
Right.
So that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, no, I like that because, you know, that's one of the things, you know, people, we all, and to some degree at times, we get caught up by the flash, the fame, the fortune, the success of, you know, the big houses and all that kind of stuff. And so what the scripture say, what profits a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? You
First
know what
line
I'm
in the trailer.
Oh, that's what's up. I ain't hear that. But see, you know what I'm saying? But that's what happens. And, you know, sometimes it does take that knock, whatever that knock gonna be, to make you realize that, you know what, I'm cool with this one bedroom. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling right here. I'd rather have this in my peace than to be out there having to carry a piece and watch my back the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
One of the things I said, it's gonna be a horror film with a lot of drama. I want to tap into a lot of things that a lot of people are afraid to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, like when you start talking about demons and things along those. So, for instance, like one of the things I wanted to address in the film, like I told you, you know, some years ago, I was molested when I was 10 years old.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So, in this film, I talk about being visited in my dreams by the sex demon, the succubus. The succubus is a sex demon that sleep with men, and the incubus is a sex demon that sleep with men. Did I say that right?
Women.
Yeah. So the incubus is a sex demon that sleep with women. Succubus is a sex demon that sleep with men. Thank you. Okay. So I wanted to portray that there because that kind of stuff really happens. But my whole point is, we all fight demons. You know what I'm saying? Here in Atlanta, Georgia, I mean, I never been the type of person to pass judgment on anybody. So, like when I see homosexual, gay men or whatever, I never judge them. I never disrespect them like that because you don't know what happened to that individual. Of
course, right?
For that spirit to be on them. But I understand also that it very well could have been on me. That wasn't my story, but I was real promiscuous. You know what I'm saying? And I had to deal with that. So we all deal with our own demons. You know, whether it's alcohol, drugs, suicidal thoughts. And so a lot of things I want to tackle in the film is a lot of these worldly rappers. You know, Triple X, you know, the young kid who died.
Testosterone.
So if you listen to his lyrics, he literally told you right there in his music that he worshiped the devil. It's right there.
I never listened to his music. Yeah.
It's right there in his lyrics. It's clear as day. There's a lot of others I've done a lot of research on that they have. I mean, it's right there before everyone's eyes that they have made a public proclamation that they have literally, you know, made a side.
And
if you notice, like the way rappers have been down here at a high time, I mean, for
like every other day or something like that.
Yeah,
every time you turn around,
And here's the crazy thing about it. It's the ones that at the top of their game. It ain't the ones that's up and coming. It's the ones at the top of their game.
Well, they got a name for themselves now.
And then it's like, okay, now the devil, he come to collect. But think on that for a moment. I mean, just really, it's just a lot to take in.
It's like the Snoop Dogg song where it says, "Murder was the case that you gave me." And he actually, in that song, he portrays how the devil approached him and said, "Hey, bring your life to me, I'll make it better."
Yeah.
And he had to perform. You know what I'm saying? I agree with you. You know, there's people who are making pacts, you know, with the dark side, and you know, at some point, dark is gonna come to collect. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And
So my last instructions to the young lady who's completing the script, I said I wanted to scare the living Hades out of people when they see it. I want it to be that deep to when they leave that theater, they're really thinking to themselves like, wow, do I really have my priorities together?
Right. Absolutely. So when is it slated? What I mean, I know it's still. I guess it's still the script is still being developed.
The script,
do you know when you plan to go into production?
So the plan right now is once the script is completed, I should have that back in like another 20 days.
Okay.
Pitch deck around the same time.
Okay.
I've already spoken with some investors about. Only thing they asked me for is a pitch deck.
Okay, gotcha.
But the way my mind works is I believe in being proactive. I'm like, okay, if you want a pitch deck, chances are you're probably gonna want to see a script if you like the pitch. And it might be a good idea to give you a visual. So I took money out of our household and I invested it in shooting the trailer to let them know the type of quality of work that they'll be putting their money behind. And again, there's some things I already petitioned God for.
No, we good.
I already petitioned God for. And, you know, to me, a $2-3 million budget, it ain't a big mountain when I know who my source is. So I'm not concerned about where the money could come from. I mean, it may sound strange to someone listening, but that's just how my mind works.
I'm with you. Ain't nothing too hard for God. You know what I'm saying?
It ain't.
You know what I mean? Well, I'm excited about it. Like I said, I didn't realize it was 2019.
It's been that long.
Yeah, it's been a minute. But, you know, I was intrigued by your story then, you know, now to, you know, hear it in music form and soon to be book form and then soon to be film. It's going to be wonderful to see it portrayed, you know, on the big screen. If people want to get behind what 4G is doing, or they want to sow a seed, they want to donate, they want to, you know, follow you on social media, what do they need to do?
Well, my website, 4grapmusic.com, all social media platforms at 4grapmusic. That's 4G RAP. Well, so I'm sorry, the number 4, letter G, RAPMUSIC. All social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
That's what's up. And so now you guys are officially here in Atlanta. I'm trying to how long has it been now? How long you been here now?
July will be 2 years.
years.
Oh, it's been 2 years. I don't know. I
Yes.
felt like it was just recent.
July.
July.
Will be 2 years.
Okay.
Got
That's
a lot
what's
going
up.
on in July.
No, I don't know why I thought you guys being here wasn't that long ago, but 2 years. I mean, 2 years is still a short time, but I don't know. I thought it was more recent than that.
No, so I was living in Florida then, though. I was just commuting back and forth, just visiting, doing
I got
shows,
you.
things along those lines.
Right.
And you know what? You know what's crazy? I have this video, Unqualified.
Mm-hmm.
That video, if you look at the content, it's all prophetic with everything I'm doing right now. I was living in Florida at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing things with Free Life, but I was just a visitor.
Yeah.
Everything in that video pretty much is prophetic as to what I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing Catton said in the video, he said something along the lines like, men would just come and serve you just out of the blue, just kind of just uproot themselves. And that's exactly what brought me here to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
That's, but it wasn't a conscious thing
Right.
when I did it.
Wow. That's self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right.
That's what's up. Well, my man 4G and his lovely wife, Iris, I certainly appreciate you guys sitting here with me as I sit here on Repair of the Breach podcast. This is the first time I've ever done something like I've never hosted nobody's podcast before. I've hosted TV shows before, but I've never sat on somebody else's podcast. But it's so what's up, you know what I mean? And, we're going to have to have you come back and talk that same talk on G-Wade podcast, real soon. And, like I said, I'm excited about what you guys got going on. Quick question. What do you have a role in the film? Are you a producer? Are you an actress?
Oh, I wish. One of the actresses, yes.
One of the actresses?
Yes, I am.
Okay, that's what's up. Are you playing, is it a love interest?
Go ahead.
No, she would not be playing my wife.
Okay.
So it's funny because in the film, in the trailer, she's one of the nurses, but all you see is her elbow. And so she was kind of.
Like I told you I was in it.
Exactly.
No, she was a little upset at first. I said, look, to me that actually works. I said, because I can reintroduce you at a later time for an entirely different role.
Right.
Because nobody ever saw your face.
Mm-hmm. True that.
Heard my voice and saw my elbow.
Right. They put two and two together.
Right. That's me.
Right. That's what's up. Well, I certainly appreciate you guys coming through and sitting in on Repair of the Breach. I can't give my closing, so I'll just give the closing to everyone out there to just say simply thank you guys for tuning in. Pastor Deborah Carey will be back next week to sit down with you guys and share in her wisdom and knowledge and all her biblical truths, and and I'll be back over there hitting the switches because that's why I like to stay in the back. So tune in next week. Love you guys. Repair of the Breach broadcast. All that.
Find out more about our broadcast, Repair of the Breach, on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. Thank you for tuning in.